Yo, what's up everyone? It's me again. Coming at you today with my day 2 update for the Lightning Strike Glad. The build's going really good. It continues to surpass my expectations in almost every way. I'm going to keep this video nice and short because, there's not too much to talk about except for a couple of big improvements that I made. But yeah, the build's going really well. I ended up closing the night last night at rank 5 Gladiator and SSF, which I think is pretty cool, not only because I'm using a non-meta build, but also a build that I created. And also, that I came up with the idea for. Lightning Strike is established, but, I came up with this archetype. And, I think it's pretty cool because Gladiator is actually the most played in SSF Settlers. 28% of all players are playing Glad, which is interesting. But yeah, so close the night at top 5 Glad with the off-meta Lightning Strike Glad build, so pretty happy about that. And yeah, I was able to do Maven on stream last night, which was great. Went pretty well, pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy there. Also was able to do Elder Slayers, which also went down without too much issue. See if I can find some footage of this. I don't know, I can't find any footage off the top of my head, but yeah, but I did do Elder Slayers last night as well, and that went pretty smooth as well. Yeah, build's going good. I have made a couple of pretty big improvements. The most big improvement that was kind of RNG was the 6-link lightning coil. So this item, I got really lucky. I just dropped it just randomly from some map boss. And then I did Vorici in transportation one time, which is reroll 50 fusings, and it just 6-linked, so that was great. And I just been using this. It turns out that lightning coil feels kind of mandatory for this build. It's just that without lightning coil, your survivability goes down a lot, as you can see here. If I replaced lightning coil with something else, my phys hit would just be really bad. And lightning coil makes the phys hit go up from 6,000 with a normal strength X body to 9,000. So yeah, I think lightning coil really is mandatory in this build. It solves the phys max hit problem just with one item. And it also has a nice bonus of giving you a little bit of added lightning damage to attacks, which is good for lightning strike. So that's good. Even if I had a 4-link or a 5-link lightning coil, I think I would just use it because it's good. And then, yeah, so that solved the phys max hit problem. And then, so the phys max hit for this is basically just lightning coil on top of 10,000 armor-ish. I have 8,000 armor in here, but you could get up to 10,000, I guess. Or maybe 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, depending on what you take on the tree and how much armor you have on your gear. So that's basically, good enough to get 9k phys max hit, just 8 to 10k armor plus lightning coil. And so that's been working out really well. What else? Also, for a long time yesterday on stream, I was playing with a non-blood magic setup, but that was mainly because I just didn't have the socket colors for what I wanted, which is red, red, green, green, blue, blue. But I did do some PoE stuff this morning, and it does turn out that blood magic actually is optimal, which is really interesting because there was a part of me that was oh, but what if blood magic is a meme and I'm just using it because it's cool? But it actually is optimal. If you did not build this with blood magic, there's a very specific thing that you can do. So again, the main idea of blood magic actually is that there is not really any big 50% aura or 25% auras that would really benefit your build that much. Therefore, blood magic is good. And blood magic basically allows you to take one aura, in this case anger, and give it more aura effect, or increased aura effect with eternal blessing. And it also allows you to do other cool stuff like run precision and vitality in your life pool without arrogance, which means that, both of these auras together are only costing me like 400, 500 reserved life, whereas normally you could only run one of these. And then running precision is mandatory because of accuracy. And then again, the combo of vitality with blood rage gives you 20% increased attack speed for free always, while offsetting the downside of the degen, and also giving you good frenzy charge uptime and mapping. So it is really good. And then, yeah, I was doing a thing yesterday where instead of going blood magic, I decided to take these like this for the mana cost reduction, and then also getting this mana mastery. And this allowed me to fit in an extra 50% aura, which I was using Wrath. But it turns out that Wrath has a couple of problems in this build. The main problem with Wrath is that the intelligence is just too high, and it's already very difficult for this build to get intelligence. So that was just not optimal. Like I wasn't even able to run this at 20, and if I did, I would have to make a lot of sacrifices to get the int up to 155. So yeah, I don't know about this. And even if you did use Wrath, your damage, I think, like, would ultimately just be roughly the same because, well, yeah, so like Wrath gives you added lightning damage, but it's not that significant. If you were to go non-blood magic, you would have to spend 3 points here. You would lose 10% of your 10% more life, so your life would go down. You would have to take this mana reservation thing here as 3 points for nothing. And then you may or may not also have to run inspiration to fit all this stuff in. I think like with inspiration support, you can sustain mana, mostly because of the instant leech from the weapon master thing here, because that instant leech also applies to your life and mana. So you would probably just do something like this. But then you would not be able to run vitality and precision together because arrogance would make it just reserve too much life. So you would have to probably sacrifice vitality, and then you would do precision arrogance like this. But then as you can see, like, you know, then you're degenning from blood rage, and you really don't have a way to fix that unless you get like life rolls on your gear, which is annoying. Or you could just not run blood rage and lose 20% attack speed, and then your damage is like the same. So long story short, like blood magic versus non-blood magic is very similar, but I think blood magic makes it a lot easier to gear, and then also you don't have to run 4x life tap. So it's just really optimal. And again, like I was running a non-blood magic setup, and when I was doing that, I was using inspiration support to manage the mana cost. I don't know if you could do it without inspiration support, maybe, but ultimately inspiration support is not something that you want to run because the crit chance is wasted because the build already has so much crit chance. So yeah, long story short is that I really did find the blood magic version where you run added lightning damage instead of inspiration support to be optimal. I really found that to be like the best variant of the build. So that's cool, right? It's cool that for this build, it just so happens that blood magic is optimal. And then not going evasion means that you don't need grace, and then lightning coil means that you don't need determination. So yeah, there just isn't really another 50% aura that's like super crazy. And there isn't really another 25% aura or like 2 of those that are crazy for your build either. So yeah, I believe that blood magic is totally justified. Fixes all your mana costs. You don't have to run life tap. You can just use, you know, optimal links without life tap. And you can have perma blood rage with vitality. It's just great. So yeah, I think blood rage is good. And then another change that I made was that so it turns out that this build, if you don't spec into leech, feels kind of bad. And that was something I didn't expect until like someone in my chat pointed it out. But if you look at my leech on hit rate, right? So let me take off all of my leech stuff. And you can see that the leech on hit rate is only 2,000. But it turns out that it feels that when your leech rate is like this and you don't spec into it, you don't really get like very much benefit from instant leech because the value of leech is like not very high. So again, I don't know why exactly it is like this, but it turns out that if you spec into leech nodes, then it makes your leech feel a lot better, even though it is instant like already, which I don't know. I don't know why you have to spec into it for it to feel better, because it's instant leech. Like it should feel okay just by default. But yeah, like I was noticing that like my life just was not shooting back up fast enough when I was getting hit. But as soon as I took the leech nodes, it fixed the problem and my life would like instantly go up to full. So like you take this and then take the Rage Mastery for 25% maximum, and then this one also. And that raises your leech rate from like 2,000 to 3,000 while also increasing your total recovery per second from leech and also percent leech, which I don't know if that matters, but yeah. Again, I'm not terribly sure why you have to do this, but it does feel like it makes a big difference. I tried it like with and without it, and it definitely makes a big difference. Like if you take these 4 nodes, like if you hit any enemy for like 3 times, your life will like instantly shoot back from like 1,000 to like 5,000, which is really crazy actually. So yeah, it turns out that that leech was just really good. I also decided to take Culling Strike off of my PoB. Like, in theory, this is good. You know, it's 3 points for like 1 million damage. But this only works like on the marked enemy. So like if you were in a strictly single target scenario, this may be good, but I think it's just not good just generally to take. Like, you're not just hitting the marked enemy, right? You're hitting like multiple enemies. So no reason to take this. For now. Other than that, I think everything else is basically the same as the PoB, just normal stuff, basically. And yeah, that's basically all the updates I have today. Oh, also another thing yesterday was that I ended up doing a tincture thing yesterday with this tincture. Like I guess that's one benefit of going mana and not blood magic, is that you get to use a tincture. And like this tincture gives me a lot of damage. It's like 110 increased and also 21% AS. And like that gave me like 10 seconds of uptime, sometimes more, of like 33% more damage or something. So I felt like I had to use this, which was annoying because I didn't really enjoy pressing the button every 10 seconds and then draining my mana. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's one problem of the blood magic thing, which is that you don't really get to use a tincture. I mean, you can take Blood Soaked Blade, but it fucking sucks. I took this, and after 10 seconds, your life degen just gets so crazy. I feel like there's no reason you should take this. In addition, it's 2 travel points for like this. And yeah, it just sucked to have my life being drained like super fast after 10 seconds. So I don't think I'm gonna be running a tincture anymore. I need to respec this into something else. I guess you have a couple of options. You could run like an onslaught flask, or you could run like a sulfur flask. I think I would personally prefer a sulfur flask. I don't know. I don't even know if I have one. Wow, classic. I don't even have one. Yeah, like you could run a sulfur for, you know, the life regen and also put like some attack speed on it, and it's basically a tincture. Or you could run like a silver flask for onslaught against bosses, but like you can do that. Or you can run like maybe even a quartz flask for phasing, even though I don't really think you need it. But yeah. I wish I could use a tincture and have it not be a bad experience, like in terms of building it and using it, but I don't think I'm going to be using a tincture. Definitely not in blood magic, but yeah, I guess I need to keep my eyes out for a sulfur flask now. Or I guess I could just use an onslaught flask because my onslaught is conditional right now, but yeah, I'll figure something out. But yeah, I guess I can just end the video by just like showcasing a map with this setup. I mean, I do have like a freaking 16-hour live stream that you can check out as well. But yeah, I can also just like demonstrate just like in a map really quickly what it plays like. Let me just get that extra flask so I don't have one empty slot. Oh, what am I looking for here? Attack speed? Alright, hopefully I don't spend like 5 minutes rolling this in the video. I guess ideally it would be like charge on hit, or yeah, it would be like charge on hit, attack speed or something. I guess crit chance also works, just to get a little more uptime. Attack speed's better though. Okay, whatever, it sucks, but it's good enough. Alright, so let me just show you like a T16 map or whatever. Here we have a T16 beach. Let's put it in. So yeah, like with 4.6k life and lightning coil and 8,000 armor, the build is pretty good. And my gear is just whatever. Like none of my gear is even very good. Just mouse over it real quick. It's basically just life and res and like a little bit of added damage if I can get it. That's basically it. And then I also did get a level 21 20 lightning strike. This is pretty good because it gives you like 25% more damage effectiveness, which is like 200k, 300k, 400k damage or something. I mean, ideally you would have Val Lightning Strike because of the burst damage potential, but I think that 20 quality is actually really important because if you have 20 quality, you get an additional projectile, which with multi-shot, it makes you have 5 projectiles. And if you don't have the 20 qual, you have 4. And the problem with 4 is that, like, can I demonstrate? Like, the problem with having 4 projectiles is that, like, where your cursor is will not be hit by a projectile. So you can, like, lose damage if you have 4 because, you know, you're clicking on an enemy like this and it's, like, not getting hit. It's, like, the beams are, like, going around it. So I think it's really important to have, like, an odd number of projectiles. So, like, if you have 20 qual, you can take multi-shot. If you don't have 20 qual, you should probably take Tribal Fury and just be with 3 projectiles because you don't want to miss your single target by having an even number of projectiles. That's something funny that I ran into that was like possibly like destroying my DPS on like day 1 or something. So yeah, this is just T16 gameplay. Like it feels really nice, you know. 90-90 lucky avoidance is insane. I also have a 1-link retaliation thing in here. This is not so that I can actually use it because I don't think retaliation skills are good in this build, but it's just so I can get the indication like above my head like when I block. Some viewer in chat recommended that and I was like, that's a great idea. So yeah, basically see like I blocked there and then you can see the icon show up and it's like kind of cool because as soon as you see that icon, you know that you have 90-90 lucky block for like 4 seconds after the icon pops up. So that's pretty cool. Just have like a 1-link there for visual purposes only. Totally intended use of the skill gem, I think. But yeah, like the mapping experience is really good. I'm like going a bit slow because I'm talking, but like yeah, the avoidance aspect is really good. The leech is really good. You take damage, it feels like you instantly go back to full like that. The blood rage degen is offset by vitality. I'm not sure why I'm taking so much damage from that burning ground. Because there's like, oh no! I dropped my item! Oh my god, I almost dropped my item on the ground. Alright, I don't know what happened there. I don't know why I clicked that item. Alright, it must have misclicked or something. But yeah, anyway, mapping is good. Leech is good. Regen is good to offset the blood rage. You know, leak mechanics are no problem to do. Survivability against phys is reasonable with lightning coil. Where is my frost blink? I don't know what's happening. I'm like trying to frost blink around. Okay, yeah, whatever. I should probably have like got this shit sorted out before I started the video. But yeah. And then with whirling blades and frost blink, you can move around really fast. You know, the build is pretty fast. I like it a lot. Again, I'm not sure why I'm taking so much degen. It's probably the burning ground from the Exarch altars. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have taken that. That shit just does too much damage. And then here, have a boss. Yeah, as you can see, the damage is pretty reasonable, pretty good damage, even though my added lightning damage is level 12 because I put it in just this morning. Here we have a Lake of Calandra mechanic. Wow, what am I gonna get? Lose 20 life per enemy killed. 50% reduced rarity of items found. Very good. Very good. What else can I demonstrate in this video? Oh, I have a Cirrus to do. Well, that's cool. Content window. I'll probably save this for the live stream, which I will be doing right after this video. But yeah. You get the idea. After this video is posted, I'll probably go live on Twitch just right away. So if you want to catch me on there, twitch.tv/smoke_777. Going to be continuing this build today. Yeah, build's pretty good. Pretty happy with it. I will link the updated PoE to this video. But yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to think what else. No, that's about it. I mean, it's just Lightning Strike Glad. I think it's good. You know, rank 5 SSF worthy of a build. The only problem is that sometimes you do still die to like random big hits. If not phys hits, like random big elemental hits. Oh, I need to work on my chaos res as well. My chaos res is really sad, but I still have a lot of like upgrading to do. So yeah. But yeah, like that's one weakness of this. I mean, I guess that's just how block builds work. Like, you know, block builds, as long as you're blocking, it's like so good and you're taking 0 damage, but then like you get hit one time from a big hit and you don't block it and then you die. Like that could be a problem, but I think like the maneuverability and the defenses and the damage of this build is good enough that it doesn't really matter for softcore. Like if I can like continue upgrading this build a little bit more, like I have like full confidence that it can do feared and like that level of content. And maybe it's like even better to do feared with this variant than other variants. Cause like if you were like evasion suppression, there's like some things that you still can't tank. For example, Aziri Flame Blast, like even with 100% spell suppression, Aziri Flame Blast can still kill you, especially if she channels it for a long time. But in this build, if you like get hit by like some small shit, like Elder Squids in the feared fight or something, and you go up to 90% block, 9 out of 10 Aziri Flame Blasts will miss or they will get blocked and then you will take 0 damage. So I'm kind of excited to take this build into like endgame bossing. I feel like the block and the lucky block is going to be insane. Like it's just like if you have 6 portals in softcore and you have like 60 to 90 block, like you're going to block a lot of the big hits in those boss fights and then you can like stay alive for a lot longer than like if you went traditional like evasion suppression or something. So yeah, but anyway, this build still has a long ways to go in terms of like gear upgrades and damage. Like my gear is like not even that good. Like I'm missing a lot of important stuff. Like my claw has like 1 roll of damage and my dagger doesn't even have a crit chance. It sucks, but yeah. Oh, I also forgot to mention that a very easy way that you can get power on this build is that if you go to the rune smithing table and you stick your ambusher in there or your claw or whatever, you can see that you can just craft like damage. So you can craft like tier 1 of lightning damage for 1 rune, which is very cheap. I would not recommend crafting the other ones because these runes are like very difficult to come by for some reason. Like it takes like 2 hours for me to get like 1 rune in a shipment. So I would definitely craft the level 1 of this on both of these weapons just to like get a little bit more added damage for free. This is very good, very potent damage. But that's all I would recommend for now, just to do this. It is free damage. And you definitely want lightning for the shock. So yeah. Alright, that's that. That's all I have to say for this video. PoB will be in the description. Yep, catch me live on Twitch. right after this video. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to promote like that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys learned something or found it informative. Yep.